Welcome, everyone, to this episode of ISV Talks. I'm Carol Livingston, your host of ISV Talks and the owner of Dynamics Connections. And on our episode today, we have Bob McAdam and Ed Willoughby from Tasklet. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Carol. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Carol.
Thanks for joining today. I'm really excited to have you guys. This is the first time I've worked with you in our program, and so I'm really excited to hear about Tasklet. So why don't we start with Bob and Ed? Why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with Tasklet. So Ed, do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, as Carol already mentioned, I'm Ed Willoughby, head of US sales for Tasklet Factory. I've been at the company for just over 4 years now, and started off in customer success. Kind of went to the new biz side, and now working with our team over here in the US. Probably been in the channel for 7 or 8 years. Used to work for another Danish ISV before this one. Not quite sure how I managed that, but now it's a niche I'm going for, I guess. But it's been great, and just been really enjoying being in the channel on this side.
Yeah, and you don't sound like you're Danish. So are you from someplace in Europe?
Definitely not Danish. Yeah, but I think maybe it's the European connection that helps.
Yeah.
No, so originally, from London, England, but I think my whole professional working career has pretty much been in the States. So I've been here since 2011, and Florida for the last 7 or 8 years, cornering the market on Danish ISVs, trying to break into the US, I guess.
Perfect. Okay, Bob, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, Carol. I'm Bob McAdam. I'm head of strategic partnerships here at Tasklet. I work in the Tampa office with Ed. That's our US office here in North America. Well, I've been in this channel for what seems like ever. I've been with Tasklet about 1.5 years, April 24. So my job is to talk to North American partners, many of whom I've been working with or for a long time, and to get them to figure out all the good stuff we're cooking up here at Tasklet when it comes to mobile warehouse management. It's been a lot of fun, and the Danes have a nice footprint over in Europe, and we're trying to replicate that, Ed and I and the rest of us over here.
Awesome. Yeah, so Bob, do you want to tell us a little bit about the company?
Sure. Tasklet is a company that's based in northern Denmark, okay, the home of Navision. And our founder and CEO, Peter List, is an old Navision developer. I mean, I shouldn't say old. He's quite a bit younger than I am. But I mean, he's been around the Navision space a long time, as have many of our colleagues. So Peter is still the owner and CEO today, and he's not bored with our super simple mentality around mobile warehouse management. We integrate to Dynamics NAV and Business Central, as well as Dynamics 365 F&O or Dynamics AX. Okay, so the company has almost 2,000 customers now in over 50 countries, and a partner channel that is approaching 500 reseller partners. So Tasklet was founded in 2008 by Peter, and it has a long history. Someone like me is just getting up to speed really on all the things that Tasklet's offerings provide. But the footprint in Europe is really, really strong. And now Ed and I and our colleagues in Tampa are working diligently to grow that footprint over here in North America.
Great. So you're not, you're new to us in North America, but you're not new. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right. So I've worked with a lot of partners over the years. I've been a GP partner myself a couple of times for probably like 10 plus years as an implementer. And so, and as a lot of our friends have been in this channel a long time. So we're working diligently to introduce them to Tasklet, show all the quality, tech, and good stuff and support that we provide, and get them and their prospects together to make inventory much more manageable and efficient.
Great. Are there any industries? So you talked about the ERPs, but how about industries? Is there any specializations or verticals that you work with?
I wouldn't say that we have an industry focus necessarily, right? We are focused on the warehouse. Peter wants to stay focused on the warehouse. So we're not doing invoicing or reporting or any of that sort of thing. He wants to be really, really good at being in the warehouse. And so anyone who has inventory on their balance sheet, and let's face it, inventory is often the largest item on a company's balance sheet, can benefit from our offerings. So if you're running BC or F&O or looking to do those, or you're on either one of their on-premises predecessors, say that 10 times fast, we can help you with our inventory. Inventory is important, and Peter wants to make sure that those working in a warehouse for our customers are having the best, easiest, or what he often says, super simple experience with our device and mobility in a warehouse.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tack on to that as well, because I think the beauty of our software here is that we work with healthcare, right? We work with retail, we work with wholesale, we work within manufacturing, but Business Central itself and the vision are very malleable, right? They're very flexible to fit the needs of lots of different operations and requirements. And Tasklet really is just tying into what's built within the warehouse module for the most part. And then loads of those different industries are able to work with our tool. As Bob mentioned, if you have inventory and you need to manage it, we're usually a good fit and work with companies doing lots of different things. So
can you kind of describe kind of a basic description of what your product does? What are your unique features? Kind of a little bit deeper dive there.
Yeah, so I think we really try and keep things simple at Tasklet. Okay, so this is probably kind of an easy question for me to answer, and Bob kind of touched on it too in terms of sort of working within that sort of warehouse module. Honestly, we are the most powerful, versatile, intuitive barcode scanning solution on the market. Okay, so we're a warehouse management tool. Doesn't matter if you guys have something from like you can see, or maybe you can't see behind me, but some giant warehouse operations with racks and bins down to little retail stores. We can usually provide a lot of value within those walls there. So everything from simply receiving goods and making sure that you can put away and pick them to everything in between, managing those whole warehouse operations. So we really focus on our UI to make sure that users can get through the processes really easily, and it's easy for our partners to implement as well. So
right.
Yeah, so is it integrated? Is it standalone? How does it work with Business Central or one of the ERPs?
Completely integrated. So it's a good question, because I think there's a lot of companies out there that have maybe hundreds of different integrations, and we have been working solely within the Microsoft space, to tight integration with that product. And that's kind of what allows us to sort of snap in to that, use our sort of Tasklet template that's been designed off of hundreds of different customer implementations and partner feedback, and just snaps into that setup within the warehouse module, and allows people to carry out their tasks in a very visual manner.
So basically it kind of snaps in on top of out of the box Business Central functionality. Okay.
The partner's responsible for managing the warehouse management piece, right? The configuration that they would do, like all the other modules in BC or F&O. And then we come in and all that functionality is shown on the device. You can do what you need to do with inventory right on the handheld.
Okay, gotcha. I love that. Hey, Ed, so maybe kind of give us a use case scenario or a customer success story of where Tasklet really helped bring value and helped a customer.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously quite a few out there, but the one that comes to mind is such a kind of a recent implementation we've done with the customers. They were kind of struggling with maybe bouncing around a few different other WMS choices. A lot of people now have moved on to digitizing the warehouse, but they'd been on paper and pen for years, which is always, it's time consuming, right? It's error prone, and you'd be surprised. I mean, this customer has, I think, 2 warehouses in Columbus, Ohio, 1 in New Mexico, 1 in California, and they're dealing with EDI requirements from Walmart, from Lowe's, from Home Depot, and all the big box retailers you can imagine. I mean, you see the EDI requirements, and it's 130 pages of all of these different details that you need to be able to adhere to. And I mean, it's quite a challenge, right? And that's difficult to kind of work with. And one of the things that was really great about working with this customer and hearing about some of these requirements and our software and Business Central was to understand, as I think they moved to BC Cloud and have been working with I won't name them, but the hardest or the most difficult requirements. They're in pretty much every every state and region in America. And paper and pen, the lift to go to a digital solution can be really difficult sometimes, right? And user adoption is one of the main killers of technology projects being adopted. So to hear that not only were they able to bend our tool and Business Central to fit these very specific requirements was great to hear, and knowing that they'd kind of struggled with it maybe with other solutions, but also they'd actually gone out and done this themselves. So I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed to admit, but I got on a call with them one time and was checking in how the project was going. And they told me that they'd actually changed components of our pick, pack, and ship functionality to fit these very specific requirements.
Oh,
And they'd done this by going through the service desk. They'd done this by going to the knowledge base. They'd taken the information they needed from Task University
okay.
and just gone out and built it.
Yeah.
And to hear them to do that, I
Wow.
mean, good on them, but also made me feel great that we got a solution that they're able to do that, right? And then when they go and put it on the warehouse floor, and the guy just messaged me a couple of weeks ago to say that they've been doing paper and pen for,
Oh, yeah.
umpteen years, and they went through their picks with a couple of these big box stores, and they got through them in the day and with minimal questions. And yeah, it's just kind of great to hear about some of the things as a salesperson we talk about, hearing when the customers experience them too. Yeah, great to understand. So
Yeah, no help from us, no help from their reseller partner. They were able to make these changes on their own with our offerings. I mean,
Wow.
that in and of itself was tremendous to hear.
That's great. I'm kind of curious, just changing gears a bit. Like, what are some of the new things that Tesla is looking to introduce to help clients and add value?
Well, I can add one new thing. So we haven't spent a lot of time talking about it yet, but we will when we get into the new year. And that is an integration to Acumatica.
Okay.
Tasklet has been in the Microsoft Dynamics space, like we said earlier, since 2008. I can tell you in my first year here, I went to Denmark on several occasions. I met all the developers that are working in our office, and we have quite a few, right? We have a team that works solely with BC. We have a team that works solely with F&O, and we have another team that works with the code directly on the device. So we have a lot of talented people over there. I could brag on them for a long time. And I said to Peter, like, these folks are too talented to just stay within one ecosystem. Granted, the Microsoft ecosystem is big, right? But why can't we put our hands in more pots and leverage
Yeah.
all this development talent in more than one place? So the first place we thought of and looked at was Acumatica, and in 2026 we'll be integrating to that ecosystem. It's a growing ecosystem. This as well as I do. They're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
quite nicely. There's a lot of partners that we're all familiar with, reseller partners that offer Acumatica as a solution.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like looking at the competitors
Yeah.
in WMS over there, we can be impactful in that space on day one. So I'm anxious to get
Great.
started there.
Yeah, that makes sense. If clients are going to the cloud, it's nice to have some
Yeah,
options, and you can be both dynamics and then move to and
sure.
migrate to a cloud ERP. Yeah, that's great. So what else are you doing? I know you guys also work with other partners and ISVs. Can you tell us a little bit about some other things that you're looking to introduce or other partnerships that you have that are helping add value to customers and partners?
yeah, of course. So, I mean, on the kind of the Tarset solution side, we're really excited about this license plating feature that we have kind of rolling out over. There's a little bit out there in the market, but there's some more to come. We've
Okay.
got, I mean, we're always looking to develop the solution, right, and keep pace with what's being released from Microsoft. So I know they've got some features coming out around QA, and we're going to be working
Mm-hmm.
with some introducing some scale integration to the solution as well. But the nice thing about Tasklet as well, I think we've really tried to be a master of one of the warehouse. We've got one solution, one application for all your kind of warehouse needs, but we know people need things around it, right? And we're talking about shipping here. We know that Base BC offers a lot of functionality, but we know that people are looking for more in the maybe manufacturing space as well. So we have partnerships. One of our solution partners, for example, Yavion, who we're working with to provide a little bit more advanced functionality
Mm-hmm.
to BC, but also we're cherry picking, or those above me have cherry picked some of the apps that we can actually use from the solution itself as well. So not just advancing BC. And we have quite a few of these partnerships now to try and help customers really fill the gaps. Fennec would be a great example as well of someone who's really has already used our product with a number of customers to help with
Okay.
consuming items during the production runs and in the manufacturing
Okay.
space to shipping. And so, yeah, there's a few out there we're already working with and excited about kind of adding in more EDI is another an important one that kind of
Yeah.
comes to mind. So
Yeah.
Those things
So it
are
sounds like,
important.
yeah, exactly. And I like that you're adding relationships instead of trying to build it yourself, right? Like, why try to reinvent the wheel here? Let's partner.
Sure.
I love that.
And we all know that the Microsoft Marketplace, formerly known as AppSource, is filled with applications, new ones all the time.
Right.
Partners can't possibly keep up with everything that's in there. So if they know that certain ISVs are working together, like Tasklet and Yavion, to make their integration seamless, that's one less thing they're going to have to worry about when they
mhm.
recommend us together for a business central.
Right. It is so nice to bring ISVs that work well together already. Either of you can answer this question or both. Is any observations about the channel? Like what challenges do you see that partners or customers are having and kind of what's your perspective of where we're at in the channel?
Okay, I can jump on that first. So, because I've been in this partner channel a long time, and let's face it, being a Microsoft partner now versus say even 5 or 10 years ago has changed dramatically, right? The revenue streams have changed dramatically, the licensing model. If you've been doing on-prem work for a long time, especially GP partners, things are changing incredibly fast and you need to pivot. You got to support your GP customers, many of whom don't necessarily want to go anywhere
Right?
right away, right? They've got 4 more years to worry about end of life. At the same time, you've got to get your team up to speed on BC or F&O and Power Platform and Copilot, and Microsoft's knocking on everybody's door trying to make sure that they're Copilot experts as of yesterday, right? So
Yeah.
being a partner in this channel is really, really challenging. Not that it wasn't challenging before, but I feel like things are just moving faster, and that's where most of the challenges are coming in, is trying to stay current on what's current, which doesn't really stay that way for long. And then also support your longtime customers whose businesses you help grow for years and years. And maybe they're not prepared to make any journeys to the cloud just yet, despite the pressure that Microsoft continues to bring to bear on partners, both large and the small ones that we've known for years that still run a good business and the
Yeah.
customers trust them.
Yeah. And supporting them. And what are your thoughts about kind of challenges that partners are facing and kind of the marketplace and where it's going?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the times, I don't know, maybe I'm just being ego driven here, but I think about things a lot of times from the Tasklet perspective. I'm kind of plugged into
Yeah.
my partners and helping them trying to sell our solution and find the right people to fit it within. So a couple things, I know that, for example, maybe on a more Microsoft standpoint, one of the things that I see a lot more over the last couple of years as we're sort of starting to get bigger in the market is the competition against the other ERP applications out there, right? So how do we help our partners to
Yeah.
sell against the NetSuites, the Infos, who have a very different model, and being newer into the channel, and myself, and also even working from what the other ISV I'd worked for before, I hadn't seen and gone up against a lot of those other ERP applications. So really working with our partners to kind of help them compete, right? And kind of sell it all as one, I think is an important challenge they have to overcome. As I think sometimes that's been a bit of a stick to beat Microsoft with is, okay, it's flexible, it's great, but the ISV stuff is kind of sold as like, oh, it's confusing, it's complicated. So how we help them and the customer to understand that it's really not, and how much value it's adding is huge. And then I think just keeping up to date as warehouse operations digitize, right? They go from paper and pen. Now we're talking about, Amazon's got drones flying in and out. There's all sorts of technology that you can use, trying to figure out whether it's RFID technology and for Tasklet, there's always going to be a place for Tasklet. It's just how we fit in with a lot of these other technology aspects it's interesting. It's a kind of a fun challenge to have, but that's definitely something that's becoming, as things kind of improve and modernize, right? How you adapt and where you find the right fits, kind of, it's another challenge that comes with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, just kind of in conclusion, kind of wrapping this up. So, what's the one reason that you would see why should people come talk to you about Tasklet? Bob, you want to start with that?
Wow, the reasons are so numerous, and you only want okay.
That's the one
Well,
reason, just
okay.
one.
We have a really excellent reputation in the space, right? Taking nothing away from our competitors.
Yeah.
We have really good offerings, really great tech, really smart developers. And not only do we offer that and seamless integration, but our willingness to support our partners and our customers, like customers who
Mhm.
need help using the product or have a problem during, say, an inventory count, need our help. We have a great delivery team. We have a great delivery team in Denmark. We have a great delivery team in the United States. And soon we'll have delivery resources in Australia and New Zealand. We've got a couple of folks ramping up down under. So
Oh,
we'll be
really?
able to
Okay.
support our offerings in 24 time zones sooner than later. That's the goal. But we're also in to help partners as well, right? Partners are going to help us grow our business better than anybody else. And partnerships are super important. And Ed and I are working on stuff like that every day. So, of course, end user support's important, but support for partners who are bringing prospects to the table. They need questions answered.
Great.
Maybe they just aren't up to snuff on all the things that they need to know about Tasklet. We're here to support them as well. If they need to call us or get a hold of us, they can do so on 3 continents. So we're all about supporting our products and making sure the end user experience
Yeah.
for the customer as well as the partner is top notch. And that's really one big reason why customers and partners are coming to talk to us, because they know we're reliable.
That's huge.
It is.
Yeah. What do you see as kind of why would people want to work with Taslet, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love a lot of what Bob's just said there. Maybe I'll sort of hone in a little bit more kind of on the solution
Yeah.
and honestly why we started as a company. So I mentioned
Mhm.
earlier, I think that we're known for our UI. I think sometimes people can kind of think, okay, UI, everyone says it's easy
Right.
to use, but that is the reason why our CEO, founder, started this project back in 2008. And I think that's a lot of the reason why people come back to us is because we're all about trying to keep things simple, whether it's for our partners, whether it's for our customers, get people through their processes, get them through their day job, right, in the
Right.
easiest and simplest manner. And we've really spent a lot of time on the tech behind how we help the partners to implement this thing and make it easy, how we support it, but also the interface itself, right? So it's not just pretty for the sake of being pretty. Yeah, with guardrails, with visual prompts, we're really trying to make the users love it, right? And ultimately, if the users can pick it up without any training, they can take it down to a warehouse floor, get through a process that was painstaking for them, and now they
Yeah.
can get through it in minimal amount of time without the errors, without the kind of the laborious entry and problems with pick tickets and things like that. Typically, you're onto a winner there, and that's why, Bob's mentioned we've got partners with 50, 60, 70 customers underneath them because they know that it's going to work. And when they go stick this in the hands of an end user, they're going to be able to pick it up and run with it. And then
Mhm.
I think that's huge.
Yeah. Super simple. That's what Peter says all the time in the office. Super simple. And that's exactly what the solution is.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's scantastic.
Fantastic. Boy, you sound good saying that, Carol.
I know.
Had to squeeze
So
it in there, right?
That's right.
yeah. So is there any last thoughts? Anything that we didn't cover you want to mention? Any words of wisdom?
Oh,
Well,
wow.
we're doing a lot with events, right? Dynamics Summit, partner events,
Mm.
some of these road shows and regional events. So we're trying to get out there to meet prospects and show them what we can deliver right there at the table, and also meet with partners and give them the confidence that we can support them when they bring prospects to the table, and that
Yeah.
our partner program is a good one and that they're going to want to be a part of it. So we're out there showing our faces as much as we can so that the people in
Yeah.
North America will know the Tasklet name as well as they know it over in Europe.
No, I think that's great. You guys have spent a lot of time attending shows and conferences, road shows, regional user group meetups. So I know
Right.
you're trying to get out and be available and be visible, and that helps, right? When people know you personally and know about you and your solutions. So that's
Yep.
great. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. I appreciate you being on our ISV episode today, Ed and Bob.
You bet, Carol. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Honestly, it's been great to talk about Tasklet for 30 or so minutes. Of course, we would enjoy that. And if you guys do have any more questions, you want to reach out, as you can see here, Ed Willoughby at ed@Tasklet, or I should maybe say taskletfactory.com. Yeah, feel free to reach out anytime and be happy to talk about maybe partnerships and how everything works, however you guys see fit.
We are available.
Yeah, or catch some of the events coming up here in the future. You probably will find them.
Oh yeah,
All
no
right.
doubt. We are covering the landscape in North America as best we can and elsewhere too.
Right. So find them and talk to them about their easy to use, scantastic mobile warehouse solution. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for being on our call today. And everyone, we'll see you at the next episode of ISV Talks. Bye bye, friends.